Good morning, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed your Tuesday. I had a green night, plus 0.69 units last night. Obviously, 0.69 isn't an explosive night, but green is green. Starting the week off with back-to-back winning days is always nice. We're going to go through the first 8 games, the day games. Then we'll be back at 4 p.m. With Jay Briggs from Pick Dogs. He'll be back with us at 4 p.m. to go through the night games. So, let's run it.
Welcome to the source. The source. Source. Hey, get the source.
All right. So, like I said, we got 8 games to go through. Getaway day for a lot of teams, so be careful. That being said, I have a lot of bets out right now for these early games. Nothing huge, but I do have a lot of bets out, a lot of half unit plays. So let's start with Rockies at Nats. Oh, by the way, Toast, how did the White Sox do last night?
I won 4 units last night. I don't care.
Did you have a good one?
I had a fantastic night. So enjoy. Everybody gets to enjoy their White Sox. And what was the public dog that everybody liked? Oh, yeah, the Twins. How'd that go?
I took an L. Took some unlucky bullshit in that one.
Yeah.
All right. So Rockies at Nats, and I gave this out last night, and I'm sticking to it. I actually like it a lot. First 5 under 5.5, and the full game under 9.5. I put a half unit on both. Half unit on each, I should say. Basically, I just think there's great value here because what people are doing is they're looking at this starting pitching matchup, and they're seeing Peter Lambert versus Jake Irvin, and they're thinking, oh shit, over. Those two names are going to make people think that. But I actually think I think it's a great spot for both of them. So look, first of all, Peter Lambert pitched most of the season out of the bullpen, but since being moved to the starting rotation, he's had 2 solid starts. I mean, not even solid, great starts. He hasn't let up a single run yet. An 0.88 whip, ERA 0.278 FIP. So he's been great as a starter. Some more positives for Peter Lambert. Look at his home away splits. I said this last night. Just take this man out of Coors Field, and he can pitch. He's got an 8.10 ERA at home in Coors this year, but outside of Coors, he's got a 2.79. FIPS at 3.85, a 1.19 whip. These are good numbers. So Peter Lambert, outside of Coors Field, has actually been good. The only concern would be his righty-lefty splits, but I'm not too concerned with that because look at the Nats' numbers against right-handed pitching. Yeah, the Nats have been scoring runs, but they've been doing a lot more damage against lefties than they have against righties. In the last 14 days, the Nats are just 18th in WRC plus against righties, 21st in isolated power. You could see, I mean, they did get to the last 5 righties they've seen. No elite names on there, but still, I think Peter Lambert is going to pitch a decent game. And then on the other side, you got Jake Irvin, and look how much better he's been pitching. You can see in his last 7 starts, he's got a 4.10 ERA, 4.68 expected FIP, 123 whip. This isn't bad. I mean, he's still branded by, if you look on the left side of this chart, the previous 5, an 8.41 ERA. If you remember, we were all laughing, making fun of Jake Irvin during that stretch. But we're talking about a 7-start sample size where he's been a lot better. And look at his last 5 starts at home. 3.14 ERA, 112 whip, 4.33 FIP. Jake Irvin's been pretty good, man. And then I'll throw this one in here. This is a Prop Beaver special, the day and night splits. I'm not a huge fan of them. Prop Beaver likes them a little more than I do, but this is a day game. During the day this year, he's got a 2.70 ERA compared to a 5.77 at night. But here's the main reason. The Rockies can't hit shit. I mean, look at the Rockies against righties. They're dead last in WRC plus, 29th on base percentage. So overall, everyone's looking at these 2 starting pitchers and they're thinking over. I'm going under all the way. And I forgot to run a poll. I'm sorry.
Huge pass. I have no idea. Yeah, I have no bet in this game. I have no reason to bet this game. Yeah, I didn't spend much time on it, so I'm glad that you did.
It's cool. That's cool. I have the sharp angle. Under is the play. This poll was only running for about 5 seconds. So let's see what the votes came in. 52% on Washington, 26% on Colorado, 13% under, 8% over. All right, let's move on to the next game. Marlins at Rays, and I'm going to put my bet up here. It's only a half unit.
Let me guess, because I've only seen it 50 times. Rays, first 5, minus 0.5.
Yeah, how did you know that?
Because everybody's on that freaking bet. Jesus.
Well, I
Christ.
mean, what's the hit rate on that in Zach Eflin's home games this year? Probably insane.
I don't know.
Well, pretty self-explanatory. Sandy sucks, and as much as Toast wants to try to defend
You
him.
can say that, but I bet him to win the Cy Young. I've not really done much since. So
In the last seven, here's Sandy Alcantara's first 13 starts in comparison to his last 7. Not really seeing any improvement. In fact, it looks like it's getting worse. That being said, he has pitched against some tough lineups recently, so I'm not too concerned with these numbers. But the point is, Sandy's having a bad year, and you can't really take away from that. And he's certainly not better at on the road. You see his FIP up at 450 on the road, 491 ERA. On the road in Tampa, not an easy place to pitch. Hasn't been all year, even though the Rays numbers aren't really lighting it up against right-handed pitching. This is just straight up Zach Eflin at home against Sandy Alcantara. You can see Zach Eflin's home away splits are nuts. We've mentioned this 100 times, so you already know he's been a beast in Tampa. 2.10 ERA, 2.81 expected FIP. This is just straight up Zach Eflin at home versus Sandy Alcantara. That's what the bet is for me.
I'm on the fish. Everybody on the world's on the Rays. I could care less. The last 5 times Zach Eflin has seen the Miami Marlins, he's gotten smacked up into another oblivion. So I'll take my chances. I understand the fish have just been throttled over the last couple of weeks, but there's everybody in the world, it seems like, is on Tampa Bay right here. There's just no way in hell I make that bet. So I bet the fish.
This is what Toast is talking about right here. Zach Eflin, his last 4 starts against the Marlins, he's 0-3 with a 7.32 ERA. So there is truth to what he's saying. I'll put his Marlins money line on the screen, even though I hate it. All right, Marlins money line.
Hey, you got the Cubs last night. Maybe I need to change my ways.
The Cubs were it was so obvious that it scared the shit out of me. So yeah, polls heavy on the Rays here. 72% of our viewers on Tampa. 13% Miami, 10% under, 5% over. Let's move on to game number 3. Kansas City at Cleveland, and let's run a poll. Forgot to run a poll in the beginning in both the first 2. Royals, Guardians, over, under. Look, this one is very simple. I'm taking a shot. I'm taking the Royals plus 1.5. It's at an even minus 110. And the reason I'm doing that is, well, there's a couple reasons. One, for some reason, the Cleveland Bats just seem to stall a lot against this Royals team this year. It's happened a bunch of times. I know that they've also exploded a couple times too. But the real reason is Gavin Williams. This will be his 7th career start. This will be his 4th against the Royals. Right? I just want to make sure no, it's his 3rd. I'm sorry. So of his 7 career starts, 3 of them against the Kansas City Royals, and they got to him. They had 8 hits off him in his last start. So we got a young rookie pitching against an MLB lineup. I know it's the Royals, but he's pitching against the same lineup for the 3rd time in 7 weeks? Just familiarity. Oh my God, I can't say the word. But just I expect the Royals to score some runs on him. Do I like Alec Marsh on the road in Cleveland? Not really. This isn't a huge play, but I think the Royals are going to score runs on Gavin Williams and keep it close.
Over or pass for me. I don't really want to. I feel like I got lucky getting Cleveland yesterday. I don't really want to dip my toes back into the water with Cleveland. Their prices are pretty high. Yeah, sorry guys, not really much anything for me on this one either. I have no wanting to bet Cleveland or Kansas City at all.
So basically, you don't have the stones to make a play.
Not at all. Not this morning. You're not going to get much out of me this morning. Not a fight.
All right. Our poll heavy on Cleveland. 69% of our viewers on the Guardians. 16% betting Kansas City. 11% under. 3% over. Let's move on to game number 4. Mariners at Twins. Do you want to go first on this one?
No, it sucks because I can't play the Mariners because they're sitting everybody. So everybody's going to go fucking bet the Twins, and it is what it is. Like, the Mariners aren't playing J.P. Crawford, no Cal Raleigh. I mean, that's 2 really good players out of their lineup. I mean, it went from me wanting to play Seattle to everybody's going to play freaking the Twins. So it's a pass for me. I can't play it without J.P. Crawford and Cal Raleigh. So.
What do you think of an under? Because I didn't put this one on the ticket. I said under or pass on YouTube last night.
I'm like 0-5 my last totals. I don't even look at the totals right now.
Bryce Miller has 3 really bad road starts in a row. You know what? Let's run a poll. I want to see what the people think of this one, because I really am unsure, to be honest. I didn't put it on the ticket, but it should be like as far as the early games go, this should be one of the better games. Well, the Mariners sitting people, maybe not, but so I would like to place a bet on it, but I really. Last night I said under or Twins. This morning I was actually looking at it and thinking Seattle, but I don't know. Let's see what the votes come in.
Yeah, and I was thinking over in Seattle. Like,
yeah, wow. So you can see Bryce Miller got hit up in his last 3 starts, but they were at Baltimore, at Atlanta, and someone else good too. So he pitched in 3 tough spots on the road in a row. So take those numbers.
It was Toronto, Detroit, Tampa Bay. Oh, yeah, the road starts. Texas and Baltimore, yeah.
Texas, Baltimore, Atlanta. So let's give him a little bit of slack. That's 3 tough places to go pitch. You can see his last. This is where I was originally liking the Twins right here. His last 3 starts just getting throttled by left-handed bats. And the Twins are going to have, I think, 6 or 7 in the lineup tonight. And you can see the Twins have been hitting righties. Twins versus righties in the last 14 days. Third, and fourth in WRC plus isolated power and on-base percentage. The thing is, with Joe Ryan, hasn't looked the same either. So this just sucks. And our poll doesn't even give us any indication either, because it's pretty much split down the middle. 34% Twins, 30% Mariners, 21% under, 14% over. So this game just sucks, honestly.
I was trying to get to the Twins because I really like Joe Ryan, but they're shit in day games on top of that. So it's just like, yeah, it's just not, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just putting a pass up there. I don't want to overthink it and try to jump on a bet and lose some money. So.
I just feel bad because I have passes for like 7 of these games. Like, I just can't find a bet that I like.
Well, you're just not a good gambler. That's why.
Hey, I'll just take my money and run from last night. I'm good.
Reds at Brewers. Let's run a poll. Let's see if we're still a Reds program.
Well, thank God for the Reds last night. That saved me. It helped me a lot.
God. There we go. Run the poll. Reds at Brewers. Cast your votes. I'm definitely on the Brew crew in this one. I played Brewers money line, and I played Brewers team total over 4.5. And Toast deep down knows this is the right play, whether he wants to admit it or not. So let's pull out some graphics. So Ben Lively's been pitching better. You can see right here, his last 4 starts, he's got a 3.44 ERA, 120 WHIP, in comparison to the previous 3 in ERA in the mid-6s. Now, what's the concerning part of this graphic? Look at the innings pitched. Just 18 1/3 innings pitched in his last 4 starts. He is not going deep into games. Why is that especially concerning here? Because the Reds bullpen is having problems. They are so taxed, and it just night in and night out, the Reds bullpen is an issue. I mean, you got a guy who's only going, 4 innings a start in this spot when the Reds bullpen gas? No, that's it concerning. Another thing that's concerning, this will be the 4th time Milwaukee sees Ben Lively. 4. Here are the numbers from the first 3. You can see he actually pitched decent against them in, I'd say, 2 of them. But he got rocked in the first one. Regardless, same lineup, seeing this guy 4 times. I don't care how bad the Brewers' bats have been against righties. They're really bad. But 4 times, I mean, they're going to get to Ben Lively. And even if they don't, he's probably going to be out of the game by the time the 5th inning ends. Let's move on. Freddie Peralta historically has been great against Cincinnati. I remember talking about this a few weeks ago when he pitched against them. His last 6 starts against the Reds, he's 3-1 with a 2.64 ERA, 0.88 WHIP. Very good against this team. That being said, really not Freddie's year. I don't really care, though, because he's not only historically dominated the Reds, but the Reds aren't really hitting righties consistently. They show signs of life here and there. But in the last 14 days, they're just 26th in WRC+, 28th in on-base percentage against right-handed pitching. Bullpens, no question about it. Brewers have the huge edge here, first in every single category in the last 14 days. And then let's go to the money shot. The Reds bullpen usage, the favorite part of the program. When we look at this checkerboard that is the Reds bullpen, you can see Diaz, no chance. Sims, I'd be surprised if Sims pitches.
Sims and Jabbar are both going to be available.
How?
I'm just telling you what I'm told.
Told by who?
Okay.
What, do you know somebody in the Reds dugout? Look at this usage.
I understand that, but Sims has also been split out very well, so he should be able to go after 7 pitches, only 30 pitches in the last 4 days. He should be fine to go. Jabot only threw 26 yesterday, 12 the day before that. He should be good to go in emergency situations. I'm telling you that if Cincinnati has the lead, those guys will be in the game, 100%.
Yeah, and they'll get rocked.
Just like you saw with Seawald last night, pitching 5th night out of 6 nights.
And how did that work out?
The Mariners won.
Oh, Seawald. Oh, you're talking about the Mariners. Yeah. Well, regardless, the bullpen sucks, and the Brewers' bullpen has been red hot. So, yeah, definitely on the Brewers here.
My point to that is that they're still taxed to hell. Like, I'm just saying that it's still not gonna be a good thing. It's Cincinnati or pass for me. I'm just not there with this Milwaukee team right now, scoring 3 runs, 2 runs, and then a couple 4-run outbursts. I really haven't seen anything out of this offense that really scares me that much. And with the way that Cincinnati bats can play, I'm not a big Freddie Peralta guy. I never have been. So until he really shows me something dominant, I understand he's been dominant against this Reds team, but only one of those starts has been against this Reds team. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's a lean to Cincinnati for me. I'm trying to see if I can get a better number.
Someone said when I was asking who your source was telling you that those guys are going to be available, someone said Toast heard it from the grocery lady. Sauce, what is your source, Toast? Just trust me, bro. All right, let's see what the poll. The poll.
I mean, am I wrong a lot?
Our viewers, 52% of them betting Milwaukee, 34% are betting the Reds, 6% over, 6% under.
I am a little amped this morning, you guys. I see that in the comments. It's not.
Why is he amped? I don't get why he's not amped.
I'm not.
He hates the slate.
I'm honestly, it's more that I don't have more bets because I really, really have a gambling addiction.
For the guy, where'd I get that hat? It's mine. Go to KyleKirms.com/shop. It's my hat. All right, so let's go to Cardinals at D-backs. This was nice that you were on the Snakes. I said last night I was thinking about tailing, and I ended up not. But that was a nice win.
Lucky.
I'm taking a shot on the Cards today at the plus money, plus 130. Zach Allen's production's been way down. Actually, hold on. Let's run a poll first before we. Cards, D-backs, over, under. Okay, cast your votes. Toast, you have a play on this one?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I want to hear it.
I'm on the Cardinals.
Good shit.
Yeah. Look, I was on Arizona yesterday, and I really liked Arizona. I had them after. Yeah,
they were scaring you for a while, though.
I bet them pretty big last night, and I was pissed off for most of that game. Pitching well, Merrill Kelly did exactly what I wanted him to do. It took a pinch hit double off the center field wall of Corbin Carroll to get 2 runs in and tie it or take the lead, and that was in the 8th, I guess. But I understand how well. I mean, the perceived notion of Zach Gallen is, but the fact of the matter is 4 of his last 5 starts, although 3 of them on the road, he just really hasn't been the same pitcher that we saw earlier in the season. That's not to say that he can't get back there, but on the road at Atlanta, on the road at Toronto, against Pittsburgh, he looked good. Congratulations. At Atlanta or at the Angels, and then at the Rays, all mid performances. I mean, it's not like it's horrible, but it's nothing like the Cy Young performances that we've somewhat expected, or the public, I guess.
And do you want to know something I noticed to add on to what you're saying? I think almost all those games except one were day games too.
Yeah, that's a Beaver thing. I don't put any stock into that.
Me neither, but it's just I just noticed this dude keeps getting rocked in day games. Remember that Tigers one where the Tigers were ice cold and they lit Gallen up?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, and then on the other side of it, Jack Flaherty. I still have a little bit of hope with Jack Flaherty. It's pretty safe to say you rather get kind of good or bad Jack Flaherty. You rather get 6 and 2/3 or 6 innings, no runs, or you get 6 1/3, 6 innings, or I'm sorry, 6 runs. It's never really like, oh, he's just going to come out here and give you 2 runs. But this Arizona offense really hasn't shown me much over the last few games either. I mean, I understand they scored 6 and lost against St. Louis, but like I said, it was a pinch hit, double or whatever it was last night that scored the 2 runs. I mean, before that, 3 runs in Cincinnati, 2 runs at Cincinnati. It's just really a lot. They're leaving a lot to be desired on the table right now. So at the big plus price with, I think, the offensive advantage, and I call it the pitching, maybe at least a wash with a Cardinals bullpen that's fully rested and available this week, are fully rested and available with Hicks and Gallegos. And I can't remember who, I think it was Strahm that pitched last night. So,
no, Stratton is not available, but Hicks, Gallegos, and the other guy, Payente, are available.
So Stram or whatever pitched last night. So yeah, all the other main guys are available. So yeah, I'm on the Cards at a big plus price.
Yeah, I mean, same. I'm on the Cardinals. I think Zach Allen's tremendously overvalued right now. Obviously, he's a beast, but he hasn't been a beast recently. Just like Toe said, I'm not going to just repeat everything he said, but I agree with basically every word. Until he starts showing us he should be priced like this. And by the way, Jack Flaherty, we've had some fun, or at least I have, making fun of him. He lost me a really bad bet against the Angels earlier in the season where I had Cardinals first 5. And the Cardinals scored 7 runs, and they were down 9-7 after 5 because Jack Flaherty. So, like, I've talked a lot of shit about Jack Flaherty, but kind of tongue-in-cheek. He's really not that bad. And the Arizona lineup, although it's shown signs of life recently, as a whole over the last month, hasn't been great against right-handed pitching. So, plus 130, I think the Cardinals are going to get to Gallen. And the bullpen edge, surprisingly, goes to St. Louis here, in my opinion. So, I'm on the Cardinals.
There was a time when you kind of first hired me that, like, way back in the day, that Jack Flaherty was on the list with, like, Framber and Sandy. That list is obviously a different list nowadays, but yeah. Jack Flaherty used to be up there.
Yeah. Our community's heavy on Arizona. 55% of our viewers are betting the D-backs, 27% St. Louis, 13% over, 3% under. So our viewership is leaning D-backs and over. I can see the over, but I'm on the Cards.
And then I think somebody just DM'd me about they didn't go over the Arizona bullpen. Everybody's available for Arizona. I mean, their closer Kenkel went back-to-back nights, but 10 pitches each, so he'd be available. Castro went 20 pitches last night, but he's still available. So just nobody in that Arizona bullpen that scares me, to be honest with you. Not especially against these St. Louis bats. It doesn't really matter who's pitching if they're hitting.
Sorry, the pie charts are wrong. Prop Evert, he doesn't get to work for another 20 minutes, so I was rushing doing them myself. But it's pretty split in this one. Public slightly leaning D-back, sharp action slightly leaning Cardinals. So sorry about that. That's the wrong pie chart, obviously. But so it's pretty split. No real public side on this one. I'd say slightly Arizona. But all right, let's move on to the next game. Blue Jays at Dodgers. What a game last night. That was awesome. The group chat was buzzing watching that game. It was like 1:30 in the morning, and somehow we're all still up in that group chat.
It must suck. I couldn't imagine that because it's like 8 p.m. for me.
I feel like, you know, it sucks for like my dad because like at 1 a.m, I'm still up. But like if I want to talk to my dad this weekend about like the Lakers game or the Dodgers game, there's no chance he stayed up for that. So
yeah.
But like people my age on the East Coast are still up at 1 a.m. or usually, should say. But anyway, let's run a poll. And also, I've noticed that everything kind of, I mean, maybe it's because the age of the internet or whatever it is, but it's kind of, the hours have kind of adjusted. Like it used to be, remember the old office hours used to be 9 to 5? Well, on the East Coast, office hours are more like 10:30 to 6 now. And then on the West Coast, office hours are a little earlier. So it's kind of like we're all kind of zeroing in on the same. Like, for example, on the West Coast, probably staying up to 1 a.m. might be kind of weird. But it's probably pretty common on the East Coast. I don't know. Maybe I'm way off on that. But
yeah, I'd be curious. It's just different, obviously. I mean, I'm so used to everything in the mornings, you know what I mean? I mean, it's all early mornings for me and I go golfing every night after the game.
Well, you're in an extreme circumstance. You're in Alaska where there's sunlight 24 hours a day for a lot of the year. So that's completely different. Anyway, let's talk Blue Jays, Dodgers. And you know what I did here? I'm betting Kikuchi. Went Toronto first 5 money line at +1. I think it was +105. I got it at. I think that Toronto's going to win the game? Maybe, yeah. But I think there's better value on the first 5 in this one. Kikuchi, not the best numbers for the Dodgers in this current Dodgers lineup. In fact, an 8.8 home run rate is kind of crazy high. I'll give you that. But And Kikuchi has not been pitching as well in July as he has been in June. So those are kind of points against my bet. But the Dodgers bats haven't been as explosive against lefties as they have against righties. They've been absolutely crushing righties, and I think they're getting priced here as if they're crushing lefties as well, and they really haven't. Since July 1st, they're just 17th at WRC+. They also haven't seen a ton of good lefties at all. If you look at the recent lefty starters to pitch against the Dodgers, it's some pretty shitty names on there. But here's the main reason for the bet. On the other side, not only am I fading the Dodgers bats against lefties because I think they're a bit overvalued, but also Tony Gonsolin, man, and I don't know what's going on, but his last 6 starts, he's got a 6.97 ERA, 5.41 FIP. I mean, he is really not pitching well. You can see look at his last 3 home starts. Toast, look at this graphic here. Last 3 home starts.
I watch him very closely. I'm well aware.
His last 3 home starts, he's got a 7.79 ERA. I mean, this is just bad. Tony's going through it. I don't know if he's still hurt or what it is. And Toronto's been hitting righties, as we know. In the last 2 weeks, they're 8th in on-base percentage, 12th in WRC+. So the Toronto bats have been better against righties than the Dodgers bats have been against lefties. So you would think the Dodgers have this huge hitting advantage here. But really, in this particular spot with these splits, they might not. It's certainly not in the first 5. And then let's cruise on to... Look, heavy bullpen usage on both sides here. I would imagine Romano and Garcia will be available here for Toronto. Probably not Swanson, but who knows? Maybe Toast Grocery Lady could shed some light. So it looks like for Toronto, we're going to have Garcia and Romano available. But before you panic here, well, first of all, my bet's only in the first 5. But if you're thinking about playing Toronto in the first game, this should scare you a little. But look at the Dodgers. I mean, no Gratterall, no Ferguson, no Almonte. I mean, they're going to have... They got some arms. They're not completely dead in the water. What I'm saying is if you're going to panic about the Toronto bullpen, say the same thing about a lot of the Dodgers bullpen as well.
Yeah, it's I don't really have a side I like in this game, guys. I lean Dodgers just because I don't really trust this Toronto team, but it's not... I don't really see any value there. Can't really play them -1.5 with the bullpen, and yeah, it's just nothing that I really like. Sorry.
You are just a coward this morning, bro.
Dude, I'm really enjoying being up money this week. I'm not going to give it all back just on a getaway day. It's just not going to happen.
It's just not going to happen. I've learned the hard way. So 60% of our viewers betting the Dodgers, 30% betting Toronto, 5% over, 4% under. One more game to go. Padres, Pirates, and I'm taking a half-unit shot. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let's run the poll. There we go. Pirates, Padres, over or under. I'm taking a half-unit shot on the Pirates just because why not? I don't really have a ton of good reasoning. I mean, I could pull up some stuff. I'll pull up a few graphics, but nothing that's really going to convince you that the Pirates are going to win. Oviedo has been struggling a little bit recently. You can see he's been better at home as well. This one's on the road, so certainly not a good spot for him. But look at the Padres' numbers against righties. They've dropped a bit. They're still solid, but if you remember, around the All-Star break in early July, the Padres were like top 3 or 4 in every statistical category against righties. In the last 14 days, they're just 14th at WRC+, 15th in on-base percentage, so pretty mediocre. The last 6 starting righties to pitch against the Padres pitched well, 3.26 ERA. I don't really have a ton of faith in Seth Lugo. That being said, home against the Pirates on paper, that should be a spot where he dominates. But we just saw the Pirates. Hold on, I want to see. There it is. Look at this graphic right here. The last 3 righty starters to pitch against the Pirates, right? It was Shohei Ohtani. Oh, hold on, I got to find this because this is crazy who they've been hitting up. I thought I had it memorized. 1 second. Yu Darvish, Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Savale. Look at the Pirates' numbers against those 3 guys in those 3 starts. 7.88 ERA, 150 whip. I mean, they've been getting to those guys. So is it that crazy to think they get to Seth Lugo? No, of course not. I'll take a shot with Pittsburgh at plus 170. But like I said, I'm not kicking the door down to get you to tail me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It's a fat pass for me. There's no value in this one. I think Padres probably end up killing them, but I'm definitely not paying that price with them. So, yeah, sorry, guys.
So, are you sad that Blake Snell has pitched his last game as a Padre?
Nope. I'm happy that they won. My big fat Cleveland parlay won at plus 110, and yeah, can't get me down this morning, big guy. Can't get me down.
So, what should we do? Should we do a community parlay or maybe like a two-leg? Want to do a two-leg? Let's do a two-leg.
Whatever you like.
All right, so let's do a two-leg community parlay.
Hey, come on, it's the community parlay. What's the matter for you?
All right, so let's try to bang out a two-leg here, because there's only 8 games, so we don't want to put 4 of them in this parlay. We'll play it by ear. We'll go 2 or 3 legs, see what we come up with. All right, so first game, Rockies at Nats. All right, Rockies. They probably voted Nats for that. I don't remember what they voted. Oh, I forgot to run a poll on it. That's why. Second one, they voted Rays. Third one, they voted Guardians. Fourth one, they voted Twins and Mariners, which was like split. I'll just put Twins. No, nothing happened to Snell. We were talking in that yesterday. Someone said, is this Snell's last game as a Padre? And Toast was like adamant that it wasn't, even though some people are saying it was.
But the grocery lady said no, so.
But the grocery lady says Snell's here to stay. So.
I mean, she's been packing his groceries for 7 years.
Who would know him better?
I'm just saying. I mean, some people like their barbers. Blake Snell likes his bag lady. Leave him alone.
First leg is Tampa money line.
Appreciate that, D Money. They have been pitching well.
Who's he talking about?
Ever since I said Snell and Musgrove are the best 1-2 punch, all they've done is deal.
Sweet.
Thank you. I know. I thought so too. That's why I mentioned it.
All right, running the second poll for the second leg. What we'll do is we'll do 2 legs, and then the third leg I'll just do the 2 second place. So it'll be a 3 leg because the Rays are a heavy favorite. So. Looking like the Brewers are going to take this one. Oh, remember when we used to be a Reds program? Those days are gone. We're straight up we're fading the Reds in the community parlay now. 5, 4, 3, 2. Yep, Brewers are the second leg.
I'm sorry, my book's still loading.
Sorry, I mean 3 legs. I can do it real quick. So there's 2 second place. We have Guardians, Dodgers, D-backs. Those are the 3 that got votes that didn't win. So Guardians, Dodgers, D-backs. Vote on what you think the third leg of this community parlay would be.
Rays and who else?
So it's Rays and Brewers so far.
All right. There we go.
Third leg coming up. Looking like it might be Dodgers. Nope.
Did you take Brewers money line or did you take Brewers first 5?
You talk about me personally?
Yeah.
I did Brewers money line and Brewers team total over. Because Lively hasn't got. I mean, Lively just doesn't go deep in the games, and that bullpen's fucked.
No, I'm not arguing that. I was just curious as far as the poll results if they were skewed because of what in my head.
Oh yeah, I mean maybe, but no, I think I put that poll up before I gave my pick though.
No, yeah, I was just curious. It wasn't nothing.
Okay, Cleveland Guardians are the third leg, so we got Rays, Brewers, Guardians.
310.
Plus 310. That's a weak community parlay, but it's only a half slate. So let's get ourselves on the board here with a community hit. Rays money line, Brewers money line, Guardians money line. Let me put the ML. So we got 8 games. Hopefully by the time we talk in about 4.5 hours, we'll have some more money in our account. We'll be back with Jay Briggs from Pick Dogs is joining us at 4 to go through the remaining 7 games. Tomorrow morning, 11 a.m., we got the commish coming. And then Friday we have FTB at 4 p.m. So we have guests lined up for the rest of the week. If you're able to make it back at 4 p.m., would love to see you. Remember to bet responsibly today, and we'll talk to you guys on Twitter.